Hey everyone, welcome back to the Atlantis Theory for our first ever Let's Break It Down team video. Today we'll be breaking down and talking a little bit about Marvel's very own team, the Thunderbolts. This video will be a little different to the normal ones, with individual characters, and there will be details at the end to do with a giveaway that I'm planning to do. Also, I just want to say that I know at the end of my last video I talked about doing a Christmas special, and that was going to be on the Marvel character Santa Claus, but I kind of got ill over Christmas and I wasn't really up for recording or talking or anything like that, so I'm not doing that, but I'm going to do Santa maybe next year or just throughout the year. So, diving right in, the Thunderbolts first appeared in The Incredible Hulk issue 449, which was published in January 1997, and the team was created by Kurt Busiek and Mark Bagley. The Thunderbolts came into the comic universe of Marvel at quite a dark time for pretty much everyone else that was in the world. A being called Onslaught, which is the minds and powers of both Professor X and Magneto combined, had slain the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, or most of them anyway. And the Thunderbolts originally were conceived as a new incarnation of a team called the Masters of Evil, which is a separate team, like a team mainly made up of villains. And this version of the Thunderbolts, or the Masters of Evil, were initially formed by Baron Zemo, who is a popular Marvel villain and adversary of Captain America. The team became the Thunderbolts, though, after the shift of dead heroes, such as Captain America, caused Baron Zemo to shift his own plans from vengeance towards Captain America into plans of power. And the Thunderbolts have taken a lot of lineups, as with most kind of mainstream comic book teams. However, the original lineup it was led by the scientific genius Captain America villain Baron Zemo, and the members consisted of Eric Jelston as Goliath, who's a virtually indestructible immortal made of ionic energy. And he has with that a range of abilities like superhuman strength, durability, and shape and size alteration powers. Abner Jenkins as Beetle, who is an engineer and mechanic who designs a battlesuit that gives him superhuman strength, flight, energy weapons, kind of like Iron Man, but nowhere near as cool as Iron Man. Carla Sulfan as Moonstone, and she's basically a dark version of Captain Marvel. So she has pretty much all the same abilities. She has flight, energy manipulation and projection, gravity manipulation, superhuman strength, intangibility. She has a whole range of abilities. She's kind of, in my opinion, a kind of leg up on the whole team, but she's cool. Melissa Gold, who was then called Screaming Minnie, but is now called Songbird, which is a much better kind of name, and her costume has got considerably cooler as well. And she's a being with super speed and sonic manipulation. She could even create like structures out of sound. And the last one finally is Paul Ebzol as Fixer, and he was a scientist with the ability to manipulate technology, and he also possessed a robotic body which granted him superhuman abilities like the usual superhuman strength, stamina, speed, etc. So in the wake of all the destruction and death that Onslaught had caused, the Marvel Universe, the characters in the Marvel world, were kind of looking for a new team to lead them in the wake of the death of the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and most of the X-Men. So Baron Zemo set up this team, the Thunderbolts, to be this new hero, and they were new hero team, and they were villains posing as heroes, but most of them actually wanted to be heroes. Most of them realized that being part of a heroic team is actually their true calling. However, Baron Zemo later revealed himself and his team to be the Masters of Evil to the world, hoping that they would follow him into battle against the other heroes that actually remained in the world. However, the Fantastic Four and the Avengers were being mind controlled by Baron Zemo, and this was all kind of part of a big plan of his. He was going to pit his team against those teams which are under his control, knowing they would win, and therefore they would establish the Masters of Evil as a dominant force of destruction and evil, and Baron Zemo would basically get the power he'd always wanted. However, nearly all of the Thunderbolts turned on Zemo and defeated him, although he managed to escape. And then with the world saved, the remaining Masters kind of found themselves struggling to rebuild their heroic reputation, because most of them still wanted to continue their membership through the Thunderbolts, but they were wanted criminals. And the Thunderbolts originally started off as this hoax team, but they actually rapidly became one of the biggest threats to the Avengers. Those that still remained loyal to their kind of heroic lifestyle choice managed to turn what was once known as a hoax into this amazingly interesting Marvel team, and it became such a big hit with the fans as well that it continued into multiple stories, titles, events, they all tied into. The Thunderbolts have always been made with the idea of reforming the worst villains into something more heroic, even under Norman Osborn. And that's saying something, because Norman Osborn is a bit of a screw loose, putting it lightly. Norman Osborn took control of them and he disbanded them, and then he remade the roster, so they were not known to the public, because he believed that heroes shouldn't be known to the public eye. But he still had the intention of turning Marvel's worst into heroes, or at least partially anyway. Norman Osborn's Thunderbolts are not to be confused with his Dark Avengers, that they're like a separate team altogether. So he kind of did the same thing for both of them, though. He kind of took them down a much darker path. And as with most teams in the Marvel Universe, the Thunderbolts have taken a variety of lineup forms. They've been led by Zemo, the Winter Soldier, Luke Cage, Red Hulk, and funnily enough, my favourite lineup for the team is Red Hulk's Thunderbolts, which debuted in 2012 as part of a Marvel Now major relaunch for the franchise. And that lineup was written by Daniel Way, and drawings or illustrations were done by Steve Dillon. That team consisted of Red Hulk, Agent Venom, Punisher, Elektra, and Deadpool, which is quite a combination. Even if you don't know much about the Thunderbolts, you know that all those characters together, they can pack a punch on their own. So together they were really good fun. That run of the team is among my favourite Thunderbolt stories, and it boasts some of the best covers for the team. Actually, I love the covers in that lineup. They're kind of some of my favourite Marvel covers. However, that kind of concludes my first video on teams and this first breakdown feature. So, as I mentioned at the start, we are doing a giveaway, and the winner will receive a 1/25 variant of Daredevil issue 1 signed by Alex Maleev. And the giveaway will run until the 2nd of January. It's kind of like a new year, new start of the year giveaway sort of thing. The winner will be contacted on the 3rd to arrange postage, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning that comic is to subscribe, like the video, and comment on the video with your favourite Marvel team. That's it. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit something. I really enjoyed doing a team video. I'm going to have to do more. In the future, I've got a few videos planned for next year, and Spider-Gwen, Black Panther's going to be my first one of the new year. I want to do Onslaught, the big villain I mentioned in this video, Miles Morales. I'm going to do the Justice League, Red Tornado, a few other DC characters. So we're just going to see how it goes. Have a great holiday and have a great new year.